Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another kerfuffle cooking corner.
It's a technology trial Tuesday.
Yes, exactly. And it is indeed a Trial Tuesday. It's September 27th, 2022, and today we are going to try our hands at chocolate chip crunch cookies. And I want to welcome everybody in Clubhouse and on the stream. I'm hearing some background noise, so if everybody could check their mute status, s'il vous plaît, por favor, and please, and any other languages I'm forgetting, which is most of them. Excellent.
I'm sorry, you were mentioning all the other languages,
I
so I just thought
was,
I'd throw Welsh
yes,
in there too.
exactly. So you didn't know you would get a foreign language question in this call. But this is cooking and comedy. I should rename it Herbie's Cooking and Comedy Corner. But either way, we are going to be making these. These come from a Joanne Fluke book, and I'm forgetting the actual title now. But
Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder, Hannah
chocolate
Swenson,
chip.
book one.
All right, yes. So, Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder. That is a pretty good book, and no, it's not the chocolate chip cookies that get murdered, but maybe they do because they do get eaten.
Well, I was going to say technically they do, but nobody minds that though.
No, they do not. So let's get things started. If you are following along with me, do refer to the ingredients list in the ACB email. And by the way, we do also have a cooks list, and that is acbcooks at acblists.org, I think. Or is it acb-lists?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Because somebody was asking me about that the other day, and they were having issues. So
I don't remember. We need Courtney for that.
all right.
I think it's ACB Cooks plus sign subscribe at acblists.org. And
Yeah, that sounds right.
LISTS.
That does sound right.
At least somebody knows.
Exactly. All right. So, believe it or not, I actually am doing work here in this kitchen as we're getting ready. I'm trying to find where my butter went, which I just had it yesterday. There it is. And it was giving me a bit of a concern because I know I'd just gotten some more for this recipe. So what we're going to start off with is 2 sticks of butter melted, and we're going to then pour that into a bowl. You know, I guess I could use the mixing bowl for the microwave, but
Depends. Is it a plastic one or ceramic?
It's a metal one.
Metal or ceramic-y metal?
I have no idea.
Yeah, if you're not sure, don't put it in the microwave.
Exactly, that's why I'm not going to. So what I am going to do is just take out a regular bowl that I do know is microwavable, and I'm going to open the box. This calls for, I think it does say unsalted butter. Either way, that's what I tend to use for baking. So 2 sticks is very easy to measure out. We just take them out of the box. If for some reason you have the box with the half sticks, then you would take out 4 half sticks instead of 2 regular sticks. And these sticks come in parchment paper, so we just wrap each one, and we're going to break it up slightly just because it'll fit in the bowl better and it'll melt quicker as well. So that is stick number 1, and let's deal now with stick number 2. Any day, thank you. And some people do like to save the parchment paper for nonstick stuff. I just have the roll of it, which I'll be using on the cookie sheet a little bit later on. So let us put this in the microwave, and we're going to give it about a minute.
1 minute express cook.
It's probably actually going to need less time than that, so we're going to do something. So because of the way my microwave is situated, I'm going to bring my mixing bowl over to it because microwave is actually outside of the kitchen. It used to be inside, but I made way last year for a brand new doohickey called an air fryer, and we needed a place to put it, and that seemed more appropriate for in the kitchen. And so that is where it sits, so the microwave is now outside. I'm going to just open the microwave. Oh, it still needs some melting, but this gives me the opportunity to press down these sticks into the unmelted part and close the door by pressing them down so that way they will, melt a little bit quicker. And yes, if you were concerned about touching hot things, then you would want to use a spoon for this, but to touch the surface. But I'm just using clean hands.
But if you're crazy like us, you'll just stick your finger in it.
Exactly. And how do you get to be crazy like us? Well, you cook all the time.
No, I think we were just born this way, Herbie.
You think so? Okay. All right. Well, then I'm glad, because Lady Gaga wrote a song about us. Born this way. Okay. So the full minute was not good enough, so I'm just giving it an additional 30 seconds. And just going to okay, this might actually be good enough.
Am I crushing more cornflakes?
Yeah, I thought you were going to crush more cornflakes. And I am getting questions here from the cook's assistant. Okay, I'm just going to let this bowl cool down a few more seconds before I take it out and pour it into the mixing bowl. And so if you've got a weird situation like mine, well, in any type of situation, you just, for safety's sake, have your mixing bowl as close to your microwave as possible, so that way there's less chance of spilling things. And you can also use oven mitts. Okay, but now this bowl is cool enough for me to touch and take out. I'm pouring it into the mixing bowl, and I did use my fingers to feel inside, and it is cool enough to touch without me burning my fingers. Now I'm going to take this all the way back into the kitchen. I'm going to, again, pour out the bowl one more time just to make sure there's no excess stuff. Then we're going to put this in the sink, and I am going to wash. And the next thing we are going to do is add in our sugars. And this calls for both white and brown sugar.
Officially.
Which is good.
I don't use white sugar ever. So I'm just using brown sugar.
You're just using brown sugar. All right. This is unfortunately where Tori is too far away, because we could do a taste test and see if it affects the flavor of the cookies in any way.
It would slightly affect the flavors, because using the different types of sugar does. Not enough to really matter. And I, for dietary preference reasons, do not like to use white sugar. So that's why I'm using the brown sugar. And I know there's going to be a slight difference in taste, but there always is when you change up ingredients anyway.
Yes, there is. All right, so by the way, in case it's worth noting, a cup of butter is 2 sticks. So if you were using butter in a tub, that's how you would measure it out, is with 1 measuring cup, the full-size cup. But, and it does not specify unsalted, it's just what I use, so, because we're going to add in our additional salt in a little bit. But it does call for a cup of each type of sugar, so we're going to get out the sugar. And I have mine in a container, so I can just scoop it out. When I open the bag, I put it in the container. So, except there's, may have to pour it rather than scoop. Let's see, I'm trying to, this is not a full container, so. Okay. So when it's not a full container, I can kind of have it at its side and use the cup to just kind of scoop out. Yay. All right. There is our sugar. Hold on. What?
Where's the bag?
Over here. Hold on. Okay. I do apologize, folks. We've hired on some more kitchen staff for this endeavor, and they want to ask me questions, and that's okay. So,
They don't learn if they don't ask questions.
exactly. So, I'm going to now put this lid back on the container. I am now going to get out the brown sugar. Again, you can tell the difference with white and brown sugar because they have two different types of packaging. So let us get out the brown sugar, which I had. Oh, I know where it is. I actually put it with the other sugars. What do you know? I did something that made sense.
No wonder you can figure it out.
Exactly. That's why I don't like people cleaning up, because they do this thing called organization, and
Scary.
it is. I don't like it. So I'm going to now deal with our sugar, and this is always a fun one. So the first thing I'm going to do is get a Ziploc bag, the big ones, so that way I can seal it up. I don't have enough brown sugar to warrant a container because it's not a 5-pound bag, but we do need to keep it sealed. So brown sugar comes in a plastic bag, whereas your white sugar comes in a paper type bag that is usually bigger. So I'm going to see, do I have any skizzers? Skizzers, skizzers, skizzers. All right, they're buried here somewhere, so I won't worry about them. I will just use a knife instead. One with a serrated blade that will allow me to cut into the bag. And more like pierce it. Okay, fine. But I can make a hole and then use my fingers to just tear it open. And it doesn't need to be completely open, just enough for us to pour a cup of the brown sugar. So I'm going to now take the bag and just hold it over the bowl along with my measuring cup. And we're going to just get a grip. And any extra is going to go into the bowl here. So come on, out, out, out. Ew. Unfortunately, with a smaller opening, you can have problems with things coming out or not wanting to come out. So you just have to be patient and work with it. I may have given us a little bit of extra sugar, but as long as we don't tell doctors, then it'll be good.
I promise not to phone your doctor and tell them.
All right. Well, I'm not worried about you doing it anyway, because if you were to, that would be an international call unless you get some kind of...
Well, I do get discounted international calls, but they still cost money, and I'm not spending that much money just to tell your doctor you've had extra.
Yeah, good idea. All right. Okay, I'm about to put the sugar in with the Ziploc bags. It doesn't need to go there. It needs to go with my other sugars. Okay. But I'm going crazy. All right. So, I know it is. So let's pause right here and see if we have any questions in either Zoom or Clubhouse. So just either one of you speak up if we have any raised hands right now. Well, not hearing anybody, then let us continue on.
Herbie, Diane's got her hand raised, I think.
Okay, you think. Well, all right. Well, Diane, if that is indeed the case, talk to us.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, great. I actually have two questions for you, Herbie. Number one, what kind of microwave is that? We've been looking around for a talking microwave and have never found one.
So this is I think it's what, Chanel, the Magic Chef brand?
Oh, I thought it was Hamilton Beach.
It could be.
Hamilton Beach.
Yeah, we got this
It
back
sounded
in.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, it probably is. We got it back in 2011, and I'll say this much: we have not replaced it yet since that was over 11 years ago. Wow. So actually, I think it even goes back to 2010. So
The only reason I don't have my talking microwave is because I killed it.
I may have even
Okay.
had it done mine.
yep,
Herbie, Holly Henderson.
Holly.
Okay,
All
can I-
right.
Wait a minute. Diane said she had 2 questions.
Oh, she did. Yes. Yeah. Okay, Diane, and the second question, and then we'll go to Holly.
Okay. Do you pack your brown sugar when you measure it? This
Well,
recipe.
I don't even pack my suitcase, so I don't even know why I pack it. No.
Yes, you should pack the brown sugar when you measure it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right, I did not, but that's a good idea. But I'm like Kevin in Home Alone. Pack my suitcase? No, just kidding. I do actually pack my suitcase. Well, at least I put stuff in there. I don't know if that counts as packing. All right, Holly.
So I was wondering how you deal with because brown sugar tends to clump. So I was wondering how you dealt with that. And I had that microwave, the Hamilton Beach one, and it died a death. And I don't think you can get them anymore. So
I don't think you can either. I think what really helps with ours is we are not big microwave users. I probably use this thing more for my cooking call. Not now, anyway. No.
I would be.
I
Yes.
personally have a regular microwave with raised buttons, and then I just get taught which button I need to do the little bit of microwave use I use, which is just to do stuff like just melting that butter and stuff like that. So
Yep.
I know where the 30-second start button is and where the stop button is, and I just press that however many times I need to. And
The thing I do not like about this talking microwave, and I'm stirring the sugars, by the way, guys. The thing I do not like about this talking microwave is it does run in 30-second intervals, and it's not easy to set it for like 15 seconds or whatever. As for
You can just turn the dial.
Yeah, I know.
It's not accessible.
Yeah, I know. We have a new kitchen assistant here, guys, and so she's offering a commentary. Yeah, you can do it. But you just have to remember each click of the dial, and it doesn't, even for a talking microwave, it does not read you the seconds, so you have to remember. As for the brown sugar clumping, you just have to stir vigorously. This is truthfully why I hate baking, to be honest, because you have to worry about this type of thing. Tori, did you have any tips on that? I mean, we talked a little bit about packing the brown sugar.
I personally, when I'm dealing with the brown sugar, I just break it up with my hand when it's in the bowl.
Yeah.
You just kind
when you store it, I was mainly talking more about storage. Sorry.
Oh,
Like if
yeah.
it's-
Well, when I store it, I put it in a tub, and once it's in the tub, I give it a good shake, which breaks up the bigger clumps.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then
This is Heidi.
hang on
Hold
one
on,
second,
everybody.
Heidi.
Please raise your hand if you have anything to contribute.
And then basically the smaller clumps, I just, as I come to them when I'm using it, I break them up.
All right.
Did
Very
you have
good.
a raised hand in Clubhouse?
I guess I'll just wait.
All right, well, hold on real quick then. Heidi, was yours in response to Holly's question, or is it something different?
No, it's in response to Holly's.
All right, so I'll tell you what, since it's a response, I'll let you go, and then we're going to switch over to Clubhouse. So,
I've actually been told that if you keep a piece of bread in it, it will keep the moisture and it will help to prevent it from clumping.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
all right.
So
Very
just
good.
saying.
Though I had heard that trick before, but that's good to know. All right, thank you, Heidi, and now let's go over to Clubhouse.
Jeanette.
All right,
Hello,
Jeanette.
Jeanette.
See. Good morning, all. It doesn't work. Two things. You can still get talking microwaves, and we actually have one where you can set this up. You can get them. There is a microwave on Amazon, and if people are interested, I can get the link. I know someone who purchased it. He loves it. And Blind Mice Mega Mall also has talking microwaves. And I believe that's where ours came from. And it does. We can do seconds, we can do minutes. We actually love ours. But my question for you, Herbie, is about how long did you put that butter on? I'm used to melting it in a pan.
So I did it about for a minute and a half.
Okay.
It
That would
depends on the temperature of your microwave to how long you need to do it for.
Yeah.
Sure, but if I
It's
have an
that
idea what he did, I can judge.
Honestly, you're better off doing it in 30-second increments.
Yeah, I remember. I remember that's why I said I kept looking as I went along. I didn't just trust the time. So, that being said, if I'd had more time, I would have preferred the pan. But yeah. But about it just depends. And the more butter you have in there, and there's also factors too that can like the size of the bowl and stuff like that. So. It's one of those things.
How long it's been out of the fridge before you put
how
it
long
in
it's
there.
been out of the fridge. Yep, there are so many factors that you just have to
Power of your
gauge and
microwave.
look. Yep. All right.
The
Do we
brand of
have-
butter sometimes makes a difference.
Thank you.
Herbie, Abraham has his,
All right. Before we go back to Zoom, do we have anybody else in Clubhouse? I want to double check that first.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, then Abraham.
Abraham.
I've heard that a slice of apple in your brown sugar or a marshmallow, which I just heard yesterday, works.
I've never heard the marshmallow one, but the apple one might work.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
haven't tried the apple one, but I know that
I
the
knew
bread
that-
one does not work.
I knew an apple a day keeps a doctor away. I did not know that an apple a day keeps the moisture in. So there you go. All right. Very interesting tips, guys. Okay, so we need 2 teaspoons baking soda, salt, and vanilla, and 2 beaten eggs. And I think we're going to do all that before we deal with the flour. And I'm double checking. Yep. So let us deal with our baking soda first. And for that, I need my baking soda, which I happen to have. And I have 2 baking sodas in the fridge. One is kept sealed. Can I use that one for baking? I have another one that can help with odors. That one is left unsealed. So now let's get out our teaspoon. And by the way, folks, just thank you for bearing with us with the confusion. We are getting used to the whole new idea of merging Zoom and Clubhouse. So, and making sure that everybody is accommodated. So we are glad to see this is working out as well as can be expected. So I do thank you all for your patience as we learn how to deal with that. And there are a lot of exciting events happening on both Zoom and Clubhouse, and we'll talk about those in a little bit. All right, I had a teaspoon, and I guess I no longer do. So we will have to make do with, come on, I at least had a half teaspoon a minute ago. Unfortunately, when stuff keeps disappearing, it makes life interesting. Okay, there we go. There's my half teaspoon. So we're just going to do this 4 times instead of 2 times and call it good. And let's see, so scoop number 1 of the baking soda. Ooh, we got a lot of clumpage here, but I'm going to pour that in the bowl. Oh, got some stuff spilling here. This is not the greatest teaspoon, but it's working. I think I'm going to need to replace my set. And there, that is in there. So I just scooped it out of the box. And next thing we need is the vanilla. And it's really interesting to me how most chocolate recipes do require vanilla in some form. But
That's because quite a lot of the chocolate used in recipes is bitter, and the vanilla will help to sweeten it along with the sugar.
yep. So I'm just going to be liberal with the vanilla and just pour some in, call it good, because it'll be
Because
fine.
you can.
Exactly. So it comes in an oblong shaped bottle that's kind of like long at the bottom and gets narrower as you get to the top. So that's how you can tell your vanilla bottle. It's usually plastic, and depending on the ounces will depend on how big the bottle is. Mine is a smaller bottle, and it just has a cap that you twist off. Okay, so I think the other thing we need here is our salt and our beaten eggs. And again, I'm just going to kind of guess with the salt. We don't want too much. The idea really for the salt is so that way things work together the way they should. So I'm just going to pour in a little bit. And, I don't want too much, obviously, but we want enough to where it'll help things gel together. And finally, the beaten eggs. So this is going to be interesting because what we're going to have to do is beat the eggs first before we put them into the bigger bowl. So for this, I'm going to get out my smaller bowl that I use for eggs, and we're going to get out 2 eggs. So let's see what we can do here. Can I just carry them from the fridge? I think I can. And we just need 2 of them, so that'll work out nicely. Okay, so I'm going to crack egg number 1 into the bowl, making sure I give myself enough room to work with here. And the shell can be very temperamental at times, but we're getting it. I like to crack closer to the edge so that way we have less shell to work with in a way, because you only have to lift up the one side. So now egg number 2. And when it cracks the way it should, it just creates a nice little gap. So that is done, and I'm going to toss these shells in the garbage and wash the raw egg off of my hands. And then we're going to beat them. You can use either a fork or a wire whisk. I'm just going to use the whisk and just move it around the bowl here in circular motions. And do that. And then we're going to pour this into the mixing bowl. And I'm going to put my smaller bowl and whisk in the sink. And we are going to then stir this again. So, where is my spoon? There is my spoon. Okay, so now when I mixed it the first time, at first the butter and the sugars were a little stiff, but this is going to, right now it's liquidy. I imagine it's supposed to kind of firm up in a little bit here.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
It kind of looks liquidy at the beginning and then firms up. Same thing happens with most cookie recipes.
Yep. But that's what's really going to make it firm up, of course, is when we add in the flour and all that good stuff. Okay, so Does anybody have any questions and about what we've done so far? By the way, I forgot to mention that this is just on what we've done so far. If you have any additional things you want to talk about, save those till later. So, Zoom, Clubhouse, guys, talk to me.
All right, Dexter has his hand raised.
Dexter.
Dexter.
Kirby, I understand, having the a thing of baking soda in the fridge to absorb odors and to react with the methane that is produced with regard to the ripening of vegetables and that in there. But the second one that you're using for cooking, I don't understand why you're keeping that inside the fridge. Is there a certain reason for that?
It was a good question, and I thought I was, I could have, maybe I was told wrong, but I was told that baking soda, once open, should be kept in the fridge to keep it fresh.
Once it's open, but you said it wasn't opened.
No, it is open, but it's sealed in a Ziploc bag.
Oh, okay, that's why. But also, I still keep mine in the cupboard regardless, and it's fine.
All right.
I always have too, and I've never had any issues that way.
All right. Well, that is good to know. Like I said, I was told that you should keep it in the fridge so it, will remain fresher and last longer. But
now, baking powder, does have major problems with keeping it sealed. But
as long as it's
soda,
properly sealed, even
so
that can be in the cupboard.
yeah, baking powder, I've never kept that in the fridge because that always comes in a plastic container with the lid on. And so you just reseal it that way.
But yeah, you need to make sure it's sealed. But if it's sealed in your Ziploc baggie, you can put it back in your cupboard.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right. So, well, that is good to know. And
even Herbie learns stuff on these calls.
Exactly. All right. Any other questions?
Not in Zoom.
And how about over in Clubhouse? None in Clubhouse? Okay. We are good. All right. Then next up is going to be our flour and cornflakes.
You just talked very, very loud. Oh, no, it could be me. That's okay. I just knocked my table. That's why.
Oh, I was going to say, I didn't do anything.
No, it was me. All right. Sorry. Carry on.
All right, so now that we've established that I sound normal, at least, even if I'm not normal, where is my measuring cup? There it is.
So you sounded normal.
Yes.
It's right here.
All right, so I've got a nice 2-cup measuring cup, and I've got a new bag of flour that I have to use up. So what's going to work the best is, first of all, you need to open the flour, and this comes in those package things that are paper, obviously. I'm going to take out my flour container, and we're going to pour the flour into there first because it's easier to deal with our measuring cup that way. So these things are a little bit interesting to open, but we can just kind of unseal the package. It doesn't have to be anything pretty here. What we want is to get it open because we're not going to reseal this particular bag anyway. So now I'm going to pour this into the container. And yes, you could pour, if you're good, you can pour the flour from the bag into the cup. I just find that more problematic myself, so that is why I don't.
That's the good thing where stuff works with us, where we're doing grams and ounces all the time, because I can just put the bowl on the scales and pour it into the bowl.
All right, so But here we do things a little differently, and we're going to scoop now the 2 cups flour into here, and that leaves us a nice dent, which means we have room for our lid. We also have some flour that did still end up spilling. That is unfortunate. I'm not sure if that was an overflow or the bag had another tear in it somewhere that I did not see. But there, at least the rest of the flour is contained. I'm going to put that... Oh, nope, I forgot. I still need another half cup. All right, so let's deal with that. Where is my half cup? There is my half cup. And this needs a slight rinsing off.
I apologize to the dog. I'm not in a position to be able to mute right now.
I do not hear the dog, actually, but...
Oh, good. Even better.
It is. Well, I don't know. Sherlock Holmes once talked about the dog that did not bark in the night, so...
Well, this one just barks in the day.
Oh, there he is. All right. Well, then, no, this recipe would not be good for you, doggy. I am sorry.
Nope. No chocolates for doggies.
Nope. So I'm going to level off this half cup and pour it in. And now I'm going to turn things over to our kitchen assistant, Chanel, who crushed the cornflakes for us, and she's going to talk to us about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Chanel Allen.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so Tori suggested I could do this part. It was kind of fun. I decided that I wanted to crush them by putting them in a Ziploc bag, because we've talked about crushing things in Ziploc bags, either in here or in Janine's call. So first you open the cornflakes. Herbie wanted me to describe the materials. So it is a cardboard box. Then the bag is like, I don't know how you describe the material, but it's a normal cereal bag. You find the seam, and then I place like a couple fingers of one hand on one side of the seam and a couple fingers of the other hand, and then kind of rip them away from each other. So you're not making a tear in the bag, but you're kind of ripping, away from each other. And it did work at first, and then it did. So then I made a nice even hole or whatever opening. Then Herbie gave me his 2-cup measuring cup, and I was afraid that I would spill, but I didn't actually spill any cereal. I had to lift the box kind of high to pour, not all the way upside down, but probably a little bit more than halfway up. And so then I poured into the 2 cups. I poured the 2 cups. Then I tried to put the bag over the measuring cup, and that took a little tiny bit of doing, but I got it. And then we were kind of having this debate over, is it 2 cups crushed or 2 cups uncrushed? And Tori and Herbie both agreed that the recipe reads 2 cups uncrushed. But it didn't look like very much to me, and I want extra crunch. So while Herbie was doing the rest of the ingredients here, for a little bit, I was crushing some more and adding it to the bag. So I probably have closer to 4 cups uncrushed. So we'll see how it tastes.
Hey, if you want extra crunch, you have extra crunch.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you, Chanel. And now we're going to get the crushed cornflakes. While Chanel was talking about that, I went ahead also and poured in the chocolate chips, as we are starting to run a little bit short on time here. So I'm going to now pour the cornflakes in here. And let's see, do I need anything else for this recipe? I don't think so, but
No, I think you got everything.
I think I got everything too. I will double check, but okay, yep. So it says mix it all thoroughly, so that is everything. And then we're going to shape the dough and all that jazz in a little bit. So, now that I've got all that, we're just going to stir and get everything mixed in here so it will become a dough. So
While you stir, shall I tell them what I had to do differently?
Yes, let's go into Tori's tips, guys.
Okay, so first of all, as I mentioned near the beginning of the call, I never get white sugar. I mean, we don't even have it in the house. My husband doesn't care which kind he uses, and I don't like to use white sugar, so it's always brown sugar. So instead of the cup of each, I've got just the brown sugar. I also don't eat eggs, so I used a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar per egg. That's my preferred egg substitute for baking. You can use any kind of substitute you would like, but that's my preference. I also had to get hold of some dairy-free chocolate chips for myself, but that was actually relatively easy to do because these days most places actually sell those. Other than that, I was able to do most of the things as they are, although I did have to be careful which brand of cornflakes I got, because certain brands add ingredients I can't have, of course, because a lot of companies do stuff like that, add stuff that they think works great, which doesn't work for me. So be careful if you are doing them and have allergies about what's in whichever brand of cornflakes you buy.
Interesting. Yeah, you'd think just simple cornflakes wouldn't need anything extra, but
You should see some of the random stuff things that get added to recipes.
I mean, I think a lot of it's more for preserving and whatever, but
a lot of it is, yeah.
Which is, yeah. So, all right, guys. So, whatever you're buying, if you have allergies or whatever. Okay, so this has definitely become a very stiff dough. In fact, so stiff that I switched to a wooden spoon.
I switched to my hands when that happened.
I'm about to, because this has definitely become very, very stiff. Very tasty, though. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I agree.
I'd be happy to use my hands and, come stir, stir,
Well, guys, so, it's funny how we always seem to have the same host lately. I think it's a conspiracy, I don't know, but our host, Sheila, who has a recipe swap, just did a no-bake recipe call, so, you could make your dough and not eat it, and that'll be no bake, so...
Yeah, but then they wouldn't be chocolate chip crunch cookies. They'd be chocolate chip crunch dough, cookie dough. Be different.
Oh, okay, well.
Technical.
Very important difference, by the way.
Yeah.
And speaking of Sheila's recipe swap, it's one cooking call you are guaranteed to get every second and fourth Wednesday of the month. And that is also on Clubhouse as well as Zoom, so we hope you will join us there, join Sheila there, rather. I'm usually there, and sometimes I even include recipes. And I actually need to try that one that I gave for the mud pie right here on this call at some point. But this time I think it's Where is the Beef, if I'm not mistaken. So good chance to beef up your recipe documents if you've not done so already by emailing community@acb.org and asking to be added to have your information forwarded on to Sheila so she can add you to her mailing list. And if you ask her
yay.
Yep, yay. And if you ask her very, very nicely, she might even send you all the documents that she has so far. So
and you have the hand raised if you would like to take it.
I would like to take it, yes. All right.
Hi. I was just gonna say, adding all brown sugar makes the cookies slightly, the texture slightly chewier.
Yes.
And then instead of cornflakes, I've heard that you can try lightly salted potato chips,
You
which
could. You could also potentially do it with Rice Krispies or something similar.
I'm gonna be
I
more
was
inclined for.
thinking cinnamon toast crunch, or just adding some cinnamon with the cornflakes.
Yeah, that would also work. But again, if you've got allergies, you want to be careful what's in the various cereals.
Yes.
But if you don't have allergy issues, thank you, Herbie. If you don't have allergy issues, then you can use whatever kind of cereal you want, I would have thought.
So this brings an interesting question then. If you were to use potato chips, would you have chocolate chip cookies or?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you, Abraham. And do we have any questions in Zoom or Clubhouse?
You do have another hand, Peggy Ann.
Go ahead,
Peggy Ann. All right.
Hi. I think you said this, but I missed it. What are you putting the oven at to cook?
Actually,
375. No, we did not.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
375.
375. Okay. Thank you.
And no, we did not say it earlier.
Oh, okay. Good. I didn't miss anything. Thank you.
Nope. Okay, so it says to do this walnut size. Unfortunately, I don't have a walnut, so I can't really picture that. And it says he's a greased cookie sheet.
So walnut size, the ball would easily fit in the palm of Chanel's hand.
All right. So
I'm saying Chanel because I know that she's got small hands. She should have small hands like me because she's about my height. So.
Well, yeah. All right. So
it's the closest I can give you to a measurement. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So rather than doing a greased cookie sheet, I'm going to do parchment paper. And what we're going to do is bake these. It says to add these to a wire rack after they are done baking. The recipe says that matters. That is interesting. I must admit, I've never really tried transferring stuff to a...
To be honest, it says that for a lot of recipes, but I 9 times out of 10 don't bother. It doesn't make a lot of difference, and it's just one extra thing you got to do. And if you try moving them when they're too hot, they'll just fall apart anyway. So
Exactly. So we're going to skip that part, but it says to have them walnut sized and have the doughs flattened, like the dough things flattened. So that's what we are doing. I'm making sure they're...
For those who don't know how big a walnut is, and I can't use Chanel's hands for, basically you want small balls, not like you would normally have like golf ball size cookies. You want baseball size cookies or golf ball or whatever size cookies you do. You want them small.
Yeah, Herbie, not any of your big cookies and.
Yeah, that's why I was saying Chanel's hands, not yours, Herbie, because we want little ones.
Little ones, all right.
I'd probably be better at doing little ones, but I know he doesn't have all day to wait while I try to do them on the sheet, so.
Nope. All right, now Clubhouse, you guys have been super quiet over there. Do we have any questions?
No.
No. All right.
Aww,
well, guys.
People in Clubhouse, you're making Lucy sad.
Yeah. But, oh, Chanel, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, don't overcrowd the sheet because they're going to spread. Only like 12 on one sheet.
Yep. All right. I am getting lectured here in my own kitchen, but that's how these things go. So, real quick, guys. So if you might be if you're gonna make Lucy sad right now, that's not fine. But definitely make her happy by coming to her Games to Play with Lady A call happening today at 2 p.m. Eastern. That is always, always, always an exciting call. And let's just say she actually does it more civilized than I would. If I did a call like that, it could not be held on the community because it would be Games to Play with Lady A uncensored, and when she does not understand me, especially in something vital, there'd be a few words I'd be saying to it that
that we don't need to know about.
Exactly. So, there you go. So I definitely encourage you to come to that. Also, Blind Since Birth is making a comeback. Yes, indeed. And with our schedules, I don't know if it may be here today and gone tomorrow, or it may be here permanently. But you better come to that if you want to.
I
see what
can't.
you can't.
No, I'm going to be learning how to do a thing in crochet. So
Crochet. You'd rather do that.
well, actually, I'd like to do both, but because I'm actually going to be trying to learn something that I've been struggling to get the hang of, I really need to be paying attention. So,
Well, the good news is it's also going to be in Clubhouse, so you can replay. And we have a hand?
Yes, Jeanette.
Jeanette, all right.
Okay.
go ahead, Jeanette.
Jeanette?
Sorry, I was having a little problem with my headset. It wouldn't let me unmute. So, two things. I have done a similar recipe with potato chips. And it's a different kind of a crunch, but it's a good taste. And Herbie, I will be monitoring your blind at birth call tonight. So people need to come because I would be sad if there was no one.
Yeah, you need to make Jeanette happy too.
Yep. All right. Funny how we're using other people's calls to make other people happy. That's
because going to community calls makes people happy.
Yeah, I know, but we don't talk about making us happy. We take them out. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so I'm now going to put these in the oven, and we've got our first batch done. So we're going to. And what is our time? Somebody, Sheila?
You have about 7 minutes.
Okay, very good. So we won't get to try these here, but we will get to try them on the Coffee Klatch. So also, real quick, if you have not had a chance to learn about iOS 16 and you'd like to see some of the things demoed that is new in it, make sure you join Apple Bites tonight. That is going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central.
It's also a really fun bedtime story call tonight.
Oh,
bedtime
really?
story. But yeah, Abby's doing a bedtime story call.
All right. But is that at the same time?
No, don't
That's
think
at
so.
8. Or no, that's at 9 Eastern.
It's at 9 Eastern, so it's after your call, I believe.
Oh, good. All right. Well, maybe I'll just have to listen to that. And sounds good. Bedtime story definitely sounds like a good plan. Neighborhood Coffee Klatch, by the way, is next hour. So I forgot how long I'm supposed to bake these things for. Let's see. 8 to 10 minutes. Computer or, hey, Google, set timer for 7 minutes.
Sure, 7 minutes.
Oh, you're
Starting
loud.
now.
I need to fix you. I'm doing it for 7 minutes because it was already in for at least 1 minute, and it's probably going to need the rest of the time. So Neighborhood Coffee Klatch is next hour. I think in future I'm learning that at least baking recipes we may need to start doing an hour and a half just so we actually get the opportunity to take them out the cookies. What?
Actually, I think that's happening with a lot of our calls, baking, and so we might have to extend the call.
I think we're going to have to. So, sorry, Coffee Klatch. I don't like to bite into you, but it's just how these things seem to go lately.
No,
so.
You should drink coffee, not bite it.
Exactly. Tori, you're telling people to drink coffee? What?
Yeah, because then if they drink it, I don't have to, and they'll leave my tea alone.
Oh, okay. So self-interest.
There you go.
Herbie, you have a hand. Holly Anderson.
All right, Holly, yes. And this is your first time to this call, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I was curious, how will you know when they're done? Because I struggle with that sometimes.
This is one of the reasons why I got to tell you truthfully. So, since this is the first time, I bake mainly for these calls. I hate it otherwise. But you just have to kind of tell with the firm, you just use the recipe, you get to know your oven. You just have to let the cookies cool down a little bit. And wait to see how they turn out. You can just kind of give it like the medium amount of time too. Like if it says 8 to 10 minutes, give it 9 minutes, and you're probably going to be done. The smaller the thing you're cooking or baking, the easier it's going to cook. And if you leave it in too long, the burning smell and the smoke alarm is also going to be good indicators that they are more than done. So
more reliable option though, Holly, is and this will actually be helpful. It starts to firm up when it's done.
Yeah.
My dad, when he makes cookies, and he's obviously sighted, he will move them up to the top. And I've not known a lot of blind people that do that, and I've never done that because I feel like it's a sighted thing, and I don't know if it's necessary. I haven't figured it out yet.
If I'm doing enough that I've got it on more than one shelf, then I will swap them halfway through. But otherwise, no, I don't bother.
No.
If you're doing cake, though, it is a good idea to do that because it means you can cook more of the middle before the top starts to brown too much. But if you're doing cookies, it's not really necessary.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. And okay, so we got 3 minutes left. Do we have any other hands on either platform?
Nope.
Okay, well, Lucy, I'm just curious, how many people did we have 18 here in Zoom. That's including hosts and moderators and all that. So I'm just curious, how many do we have in Clubhouse, if you're able to quickly tell me?
18.
18. Oh, wow. So it actually matches them both. Well, that's pretty cool, guys. I honestly didn't know. That's good to know because since I can only see one platform, I can't see who's out there. So I thank you, everybody who is there or is listening to the replay.
Let me just say we had 18 altogether. We have 6 here right now.
Okay. Well, that's still, for Clubhouse, that's still pretty good. So, so 6 of you, but thank you for the 6 that stayed, or if you came late. Hope you enjoyed it, and make sure you subscribe to the ACB Club to keep track of all the other rooms that are broadcast in the Clubhouse, and also, even more important, subscribe to the email list, community@acb.org, where you get all our calls that we have, not just the ones that are on Clubhouse. And yes, they're open to everybody. So we want to see you. And so if you are one of those who I'm talking to, if you're in Clubhouse right now and you're not on the list, I am indeed talking to YOU. And same for anybody that's listening on the stream. If you are not on the community list and finding out the other great calls, there's other cooking calls, there's technology calls. You will not be bored, I assure you. You can learn crochet.
Yeah, the hard part is deciding which ones to go to.
Exactly. So don't delay. And I do not get a commission for by the way, just letting you know. So it is free sponsorship.
Get paychecks.
Nope. So thank you, Tori, as always. Thank you, Sheila, for hosting today. Thank you, Deb, for streaming. Thank you, Lucy, for moderating. Thank you, Jane Sue, for keeping us connected. Great job. And thank you, Chanel, for assisting with the cornflakes. And thank you, everybody, for listening to this thing. I'm
putting up with us.
Yep, and putting up with us. So with that, Sheila, you may go ahead and end the room.